Welcome to Vilantros Reviews. I trust you are all doing well. Today we're going to take a look at BX-04, and we're going to be taking a look at the metal alloy version of Dark Scorpion Giant. This is a KO version of the G1 Black Zarak. Now, Black Zarak is a sort of repaint, retool of G1 Scorponok, but a lot of parts were gold. And if you know anything about GPS or gold plastic syndrome, a lot of the metal plastic parts broke and they just kind of crumble and turn into almost like dust. We'll just get these guys out of the way and we'll come back and then we'll start the unboxing. I got this in direct from China. Came in the box. You can see it's got a little bit of damage to it. But in the end, it's not too bad. So on the inside, we have some bubble wrap, and it's just protecting it like that. And then, oops, just pull that out. Look at there. And there's bubble wrap in the bottom of the box as well. We'll get that outer box out of the way. Now, the original Scorponok was the biggest and most expensive G1 transformer I ever bought as a child. Oh, you're getting a bit of reflection off that. Anyways, so can we get the whole box? No, I need to go up higher. All right, well, we are going to change to the overhead shot, I suppose. All right, I'll be right back. Originally, this had cellophane on it, or like thin plastic. I did the video and talked about things while the plastic was on, and it was super reflective. I realized right after I took it off, I should have taken it off at the beginning. So we're just going to run from there. Up in the top corner, it says metal alloy version, and it's part of the Cool Play series, and it's Dark Scorpion Giant, which we actually have some English that says that as well. And then at the bottom, we've got BX-04, and it's the 5-change God of War. So there's 5 different modes. There's Mad Scorpion, there's Mad Scorpion Base, then there's Mad Scorpion Giant, and then Mad Scorpion Base, and then lastly we have the Mad Scorpion Chariot. And there's some really awesome looking art there. That looks really cool. You've got Black Rorichi down here. Anyways, and then some cool looking art on the side here. So yeah, let's get this open. Just figure out which way is going to. Oh, it's got a nice. So it's like this. We'll turn it. I'm gonna watch camera. Oh wow, so shiny. Make sure I don't stick that into anything. Oh, and there is a sticker sheet. Oh, that's so neat. I'll have to see if that's like the original. So this is a knockoff of original G1 toy, and so we got just a shell cover there. That looks pretty awesome. Oh, and it's all in styrofoam. Now there is this front face shield piece is popped off. Set that off to the side, and yeah, he looks great in there. And this was the GPS part. I mean, guys would have the feet break off. Even got that still in the sprue. It's so nice and shiny. The box folds down like this, and then this whole section can come out. And we'll move that off to the side for a minute. That's actually on the inner flaps. So you've got your 5-change God of War. Dark Scorpion Giant comes packed in this foam insert. And over here we have the Platinum Shield. So we can just take that out and we'll bring that up. That even sort of has those weird lines in it already. There's one down there too. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. There's the arm shield.
It just snaps together. It's very tight. I don't want to break it. There we go. All right. So anyways, there's the shield. Over here, we've got our barrier generators. Oh, those look really cool. That's really nice gold chrome. It looks really pretty. So yeah, there's our two barrier generators. I'll put that off over to the side there. And then let's see here. Oh, all right. So this piece here that came off, I will figure that out after. Just try to get him out of here. Okay, there we go. Oh, he's very heavy. I'm not sure compared to the original. Move him off to the side there for now. Take a closer look at him after. And then here we have our black hole cannon. Well, actually, this is a black hole cannon with a cover. Oh, there's some good detail there. See? And it should come off. So you can look at how that looks there on the other side. Because, of course, later this is going to come up as parts of the city. So, that looks good. Set that off to the side. Oh, we have our Tyrant spear. So, looks like that just pops together like so. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, and that's pretty secure. So we can bring that in close. That looks pretty cool. I have a DNA upgrade for my Generation Selects Black Zarak. So we'll take a look at that as we go along here. So you've got a little bag of looks like all the radar and sensors and the maintenance arms and the repair elevator. All right, and then what do we got? Here's our little buddy. Here's Black Rorichi. He's got his laser cannons. Man, that coloration's just, I love the gold. And I always liked, when I got my Scorponok, I really liked Fast Track. The wheels roll so good. And these wheels feel really good too. And of course he pops apart and stuff. So you could have him get an arm blown off or whatever. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's looking pretty neat. Oops. Get it in the light there. That one doesn't look so bad. All right. Yeah, so that gets rid of that. And we were going to take a look. So here's the sticker sheet that it came with. So that doesn't look too bad. Set that off to the side. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so I'm probably just going to refer to him as BX-04 from now on. I put the little piece there. So there's his helmet. You can see it's got a pretty cool looking face. And the paint job is, you can also see like how glossy the whole toy is. Feels really good. Everything looks really good. Actually, here, let's try opening this. Oh yeah, you can feel. Yeah, and the little door thing works. There's that. Close that for now. All right. There's the back. Pretty standard looking. Basically just a minor retool and repaint. Okay, so we'll set him off to the side. We'll get Fast Track here transformed, or not Fast Track, Black Rorichi transformed. So we'll get him transformed like that. Not a lot going on. And he rolls well. All right, put him off to the side. And we've got oh yeah, that's pretty cool. The way that that holds in there is awesome. So yeah, there's a peg. If you're familiar at all with G1 Scorponok, there's a peg here. So on the inside of the claw, there's a peg here, so you can peg that into there, and that'll hold that. But also, if you look at the black hole cannon, it's back together. You can see there's notch or holes and tabs. Just goes together like that. But same thing, there's a hole here so that it can be held. Now, in this case, it would make sense that the spear is being held in that arm and this one, because the gun can only go one way with the cover on. Anyways, that'll go on there. I'm a little paranoid because that's always a failing point on the original. But yeah, you can see there, just holding it. And then we can get the spear in there on the other side. There we go. All right, so that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, and they've got, I always put, so the, what were they called again? The blacking cannons is upper and lower. I always put some on the top there, and then I always put the other ones on the back of the legs. I'll double check. That's probably what the instructions say. This was probably just a shipping thing. We'll get that off there. And get the cannons onto the back. So this piece here, there's that locking tabby thing there. And then on the tail, there's this piece here that'll go in there. So that's just going to go in there like so. Used to sometimes take the gun and point it on top like so. A little bit different with Scorponok, and then of course turn this back. All right, so that looks pretty good. We'll get the barrier generators undone here. All right, and then so in robot mode they go on this way. Kind of hard for me to see. Just give me a sec here. There we go. All right, so it seems it seems easiest if you put the top tab in the hole here. It's really hard to do while staring at the camera, and then just pop the bottom tab into the slot. You can't see in the dark. There we go. But yeah, I noticed one of the earlier shots, they had these the other way around, and that's from being in Scorpion mode. So there we go. I'm gonna just take this stuff out, and we can good ratcheting sounds and everything happening. Be really gentle. You don't want to break any of your tabs off. All right, so the arms can go up, and they do have sort of a double jointed thing going on, so they can kind of sit like that. This part here hinges, rotation in that part. You can hear the ratchets. in a way, the bend at the knee is possible, but that's just because of transformation, and it is by no way able to support anything. The legs can go out, and come back, they can go about that far, and go all the way forward again. That's to do with transformation. You can lean backwards, but not really any point in that. All right, so that's pretty much it for the articulation. Now I think what I'm going to do is we'll switch, actually, sorry, we'll move this out of the way. So we got this bag, radar and sensors. Okay. It's sort of like a silver color. All right, oops. All right, that's not too bad. Put that together. There's the two maintenance arms. So they look pretty cool. Over the other way. And see if I can get these facing the right direction. And there's all our sensors or radar. And those are in a gold. So the maintenance arms and the elevator are in silver, and that's in a gold. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So I decided to do a comparison here. Here's Scorponok on the left and BX-04 on the right. This is an original G1 on the left here of Scorponok. Looking at the two of them, the molds are pretty much identical. The only difference that I could really find is that if you look in here, you've got, can I even pick that up? You know what? We're gonna do this. It's gonna get bright for a sec, but we're hopefully be able to see. Yeah. Inside here, there's actually little tiny notches and numbers so that you could read the scale. Because of course, when you stick Zarak into there, then this would come up and show the stats. So the one thing I did notice is that over here with BX, let's grab a glove here. So with BX-04, there's no lines at all inside of here. There's no gauge. The gauge does work though, sorry. So we put there. If we put Scorponok in there, then it works. And I did notice as well that, well, it's too hard to get them both in the same. Well, I guess you can sort of see that. But anyways, both Scorponok and Black Zarak have the exact same stats when you put the head in. Not sure if the original one did, but I would assume since it's the same mold, it's going to put things in the same spot. And then as far as height goes, they're completely identical. There's no difference in height. There's no difference in really anything. And then this is really just tabbed into that part, so this can come off. And then similarly over here, this is tabbed in. This was a real, I accidentally popped this out earlier. This was a real pain. But anyways, that just comes out. So you could, in theory, you know, it's hard to see. They got really weird lighting so that the lighting of the recording works out okay. But yeah, so you can attach that to there. And conversely, I could pop that into there. And there we have a Scorponok with the D311 head. All right, so just take that off. I'll take that off. I did double check some things, so the coloration of all of the parts is correct to the original G1 Master Force D311. So the other thing is too, I was looking, the sticker sheet, the stickers are actually identical to Scorponok's. The colorations, as far as I can tell, are identical. And this is an original looking sheet. This is how the original sheet looked. One thing I wanted to mention is with this helmet thing. If you find, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little gap there. If it seems like you just can't get the head to sit right, what you need to do is on the back here, if you hold the back of the sort of samurai head down and then move this piece on its own, now it's flush. And it doesn't do that movement thing. So just something I was noticing as I was getting this ready to film. So we'll take a look at the accessories and do a little bit of a comparison to the accessories that came with the original G1 Scorponok. So we'll take each of these here, put them all in one hand. So these look pretty comparable. This one does have, there's that little bit of a line, it looks like it going this way, that doesn't appear to be present on the gold one. Sorry, I gotta go down further. And yeah, it looks, other than that, looks pretty much the same. Sorry, that. Yeah, say, so those are pretty much the same, other than, like I say, it looks like there's a little bit of a difference there on that part. We've got our barrier generators, apparently. Anyways, but yeah, both look about the same. Oops. We'll grab our covers. Those look pretty much the same, all the same detailing there. Yeah, that's pretty much identical. Same on the back side. And we'll take a look at the elevators. They're pretty much the same. I was able to confirm, I think I already mentioned this earlier, but the original toy, they were silver accessories. The designs of these are pretty much the same. Not seeing anything really different. The stickers, I'll talk about them after. And we can take a look at some of these sensors. So the sensors have about, yeah, they have the same detail as the original. We'll just do the last two sensors or radars. All right, so yeah, same thing, same molding. All right, so let's take a look at these. This is where I already knew there was a difference when I was laying these out on the pad here. So these look pretty much the same on this side, and here's where the big difference is. So this one on the right, this is the BX-04, and they filled everything in, so it doesn't have all these gaps. This is the original G1. Now, something else I noticed though is if we look, you can see there's a little bit of a gap there on the seam. It's not as nice. This is perfect. Whereas this one, oops, this one, like I say, there's a little bit of a seam, and I could technically, try to pop it apart, which isn't obviously what I want to do. But anyways, just that's the only difference I saw in the accessories. And then of course we have our Tyrant spear, and both sides basically look exactly the same. And it does pop apart. If you look in the center here, this part will come off. And there's these two tabs on the side there that are going to go into those holes there and there. But it goes together quite well, and it's very sturdy. Whoops. Clicks into place, doesn't wiggle. I'm just going to talk about the stickers quickly. So if we take a look here, now that this way, yes. So if you look, the original stickers are they're sort of foily. They have a bit of shine to the entire sticker. These ones are sort of almost look more like a vinyl. And the gray is a darker gray. And can we see? Yeah, I can't really cover that over properly. But anyways, everything's a bit darker. If you look, the yellow's a little bit darker. It's just more of an almost orange. This is like a dark red compared to this almost being like a bright pink or a fuchsia. So there is a bit of a difference with all of them. The coloring of this in general is a bit more muted. Did notice though that there is the speed, strength, and intelligence indicator, but you could put that sticker then here, or we're probably actually on that lip there. But we'll just take a look here at where it is on Scorponok. Take a look there. Yeah. So it's just on that little shelf. So you could put that sticker in there. But like I say, just missing the actual indicator lines, which are almost invisible. Not a big deal. We're going to turn him into scorpion mode. So just turn his arms up. And then we just need to, there's actually 2 pivot points. Oops. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Anyways. So there's this pivot point there. And there's this here. But I'm actually moving the whole chunk. Anyways. We can bring the scorpion legs up now. And then earlier, this was tabbed in. Just untab that. Bring it around. Just bring it forward. We just need to turn the toes in. And then at the knee, we're just going to bend it there. And then this part here sticks up a little bit. And it's going to tab into these holes there. Same on the other side. And then we'll just bring this up. There's posts here and here. And they just have to go into that hole there and the one over here. Try to do that. It's really hard to see the glossy. Okay, I'm just gonna, this part here, we just flip that out and around, and then you have the stinger. I'm gonna deal with this in a second, but basically that gets that like that, like that. We've got that going on. Now, this is just easier since I popped it off. This piece, you're just gonna slide it off, and then you're gonna turn it around, and it'll actually notch onto his nose there and cover everything up. And that way there, that is more the face of the scorpion. So we'll just reattach that here. Just like that. Get the, now, just like the original toy, you'll notice as I move this, those legs are moving up and down. See, there's the front one, there's the second one, third one, fourth one. So that still works. So that's pretty cool. It looks really neat, actually, especially on the camera watching them move like that. Anyways, something I forgot. So one of the things you would normally do is you would attach these guys onto the side here. And notice they're going that way, so they're that direction. Later, when you turn them into robot mode, you actually take these off and flip them. Unfortunately, of course, that'll wear out all the chrome. And then we can attach our blacking cannons on there and put those on here. And I don't know. Yeah, so we can get them all armored up there. Move that out of the way. So there's that. Now, to get them into base mode, take these back off. And take these off. Take that off. And that off. And we will flip that around. So we're just flipping the tail back down. And then we turn these this way. And then they'll come in like this. Oops. Bumped into the faceplate. And we're going to go like this. Like that. There. Like that. Turn this around this way. And now these things go on. So there's this hole there. And then there's the claw has this little stud here. So we're just going to attach that. Like that. Oh, it felt good when that went on. That was a good connection. But not too tight. So many of the things on this have felt so tight. Just sort of straighten that out. Don't want to break the tab off. Okay, that's straightened. Okay, now we should take the legs and pop them down. We're actually going to bring them all the way back and around. And so this, what did they call this piece again? The combat trap. That flips down. Now it's a ramp. And then these open up. And this opens up too. There's little missile pods in there. So do the same thing on this side. Just leg all the way around. Bring that out. Bring this up. And then this whole piece ratchets up. And that's like so. This flips over and comes down like that. Oh, we're going to be able to do. Okay, cool. Okay, anyways, it's pretty big, but some of this is going to fit. And then we've got this opening in here. We can get Scorponok here. And I'm not going to move his arms. Actually, it looks like they might be. Yeah, I don't even care. One of the big things with the original Headmasters, the G1, when you'd move these arms, that's basically a square trying to rotate. And you'll end up breaking the little pins. So a lot of the original Headmasters, they've got broken off arms or what have you. Actually, we never really compared these two little guys. We'll throw that in here right now, I guess. So he's got a bit of purple on his face. Trying to get the angle correct here. It's confusing though. Okay, there. So there's Zarak, and here's Scorponok. Not bad though. Pretty much the exact same. Like I say, when you plug them in, they're identical. One of the things when you turn them into robot mode, you'd actually take this piece here. That's tight. Oof, there we go. This would actually flip up. So he looks a little bit more robot-y. And again, I'm not moving these arms. But he could sit in here if you wanted. So this, when he's in robot mode, this is like an arm shield. And again, I don't have the stickers applied. But anyways, it folds over, snaps together. So you see there's like this two tabs here. And then there's two divots on the back end here. It goes this way. So that goes in there like that. That's like that. And then we can put could put guns on the sides here, like that, aiming sort of anti-aircraft style up into the air, like that. These, oops. So these ramps, you can put these sideways on the ramps, so they'd be sticking out like that. I mean, you can kind of do whatever you want. So we'll put the elevator in over here. Oops. There we go. Again, everything's so stiff. But yeah, that just keeps popping apart. Anyways, that goes there. Can go on either side. And then over here, we'll put the maintenance arms. Maybe the claw goes here, and then the welder goes there. And then these two things go in the background here. Those two. And then these guys, oops, go on the sides here. And on the side here. There. Hey. And that, oh, and then this. So on the back here, there's a hole right there. That's where this tab's gonna go. It's gonna go in like that. Just like so. And then on the other side, we're gonna put the gun one in like so. And that, whoops, that puts that all together like that. And then we're just gonna do one last thing here. So we'll grab Black Rarichi here, and we're gonna back up a bunch. So we can activate this switch. And whoa, he just about went off this side of the table there. We're going to come back. I'm just going to rearrange everything so that we can do some scale comparisons. Okay, that was a bit more work than I was anticipating to get everything to fit. He's quite wide. I had to move the camera back quite a ways. I've really done some kind of crazy things in the back end here so that I could get anything into shot. One of the figures that we can bring in, this this is actually not an official Metro Titan, but we can bring in a Metro Titan, so we can put him in the background there, and then we can bring in Metro Dash. I've got Rabbit Crater, Metro Bomb, Metro Tank. Don't have his things handy. Maybe he's getting repaired, or maybe he's just driving down the ramp or on the ramp. And then, of course, oops, well, there you go. Gives you an idea of some of the scale. Some other Decepticons. Like there's Starscream. I actually took this as an original Starscream. I didn't realize, but I don't have his back things handy. But anyways, so that's about the size of him there. We can actually take Scorponok down, move Rabbit Crater. We can kind of close this missile bay, and then what we can do is we can actually put a jet on here, so you get an idea of the length. And we can bring in Skywarp. This is a retro one. And Thunder Tracker. Whoopsies. These stupid missiles on the new ones for safety. Anyways, so that gives you an idea of some of the scale. Oh, right. I was going to bring in, here's this for scale as well. There's High Q from Power Master Optimus Prime. So we can clear out some of these Decepticons for a minute. And, well, we'll leave these little guys there. Just move the jets. And we can bring in some Insecticons, because you know how I like my Insecticons. And just show them for scale. That works. Put one down here. We'll actually make Black Rorichi into robot mode and just stick him in there. There's a Sky Gary. Oops, is that? It goes like that. So there's, oh, that's out of frame.
So yeah, there's a Sky Gary again. We could put it here of scale there. One thing that I didn't bother grabbing was the Metro Titan 6-gun, but there's 6 guns, just so you can have an idea. What else do I have kicking around? There's G1 Optimus Prime. There's Rodimus. You can take these guys out of the picture now. There's a G1 trailer, sort of the size of that. There's a G1 roller. So he's too wide to go down this ramp. But this can, Metro Dash can go down the ramp. So there's Power Master Optimus Prime. Again, we take some of this stuff off and put it there. So that gives you an idea of how, it's on a funny angle, how long that is. There's Ultra Magnus's back end. And there would be the length of Ultra Magnus. Yeah, Power Master Optimus Prime is just a little bit longer than Ultra Magnus. Okay, so we'll get Metro Titan and bring him into the scene here. So that's how high he is, and then we'll put in Metro Dash to get an idea of height. You can bring in the Insecticons, there's Kickback, there's Starscream, Black Rorichi, who's, yeah, so the Insecticons and Black Rorichi are about the same height. Take out Starscream, and we'll put in Sky Gary. So there's Optimus Prime. We'll bring this arm up. There we go. So that gives you an idea of the height of Optimus Prime. Metro Bomb there. Rabby Crater over there. There's High Q again. Whoops. For height. There's Cosmos as well for fun. And we can bring in some Battle Beasts. We can even bring in, can't remember what they're called, but one of those little guys. They're like a Diaclone thing. Got all carried away with the fun things. So he's missing his arms. I just didn't put them on. But there's Power Master Optimus Prime. So he comes up to about there. In case you were curious, one of the larger combiners. There's Predaking. So he's a little bit tilted forward. There he is. This is with a DNA kit, but this is Generation Select's Black Zarak. Just to give an idea of how, this guy's huge. I had to move the camera way out to even try to get it. There's a difference in the two spears. There's the one that came with the upgrade kit, and then there's the Tyrant spear there that came with Black Zarak. So this is about as high as up to there, which is actually interesting to note that they made this about the same scale. There's Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus. There's Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. By the way, I don't have my Studio Series Megatron here right now, but there's an MP36 styled figure Megatron. Just before my final thoughts, there's Legacy Black Borichi there, and there's that one. What do I think about this? I think this guy's great. I really, really liked my original Scorponok. He was a great figure. Everything with this seems great. The plastic quality, everything seems good. There's a little teeny bit of tolerance issues, but I've also had tolerance issues with some of the official products. So, at the end of the day, I'd say this guy's pretty cool. And especially given the whole gold plastic syndrome issues, you just can't get this figure. We'll just come back. I forgot I was going to take a look at this plastic versus some original GPS Prome plastic. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start by looking at the bottom of his foot. You can see right there
sort of a funny little line there. Sorry, over here. It's confusing to look at the camera while trying to point. But that's what he's looking like. Bring in this, because this had a lot of that same sort of lines and stuff going on in the plastic. And you can see it even over here. So if we take a look at that and then switch over to here's Skyhammer. Oops. This is my go-to GPS fear. So if we take a look at the plastic on here, it looks a lot more gold. Now, this is definitely a shinier yellow. This is a darker, definitely a darker gold. This is far more reflective. But this is prone to just shattering and falling apart into little tiny pieces. Yeah, looking at this, I'd say the plastic's different. Who knows how it's going to hold up? And there's a little BX there. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is a really cool way to get a figure that's pretty much impossible to get. And much like this Skyhammer, concerning to own because you don't want it to just fall apart on you one day. For those of you wondering, I did order this from AliExpress, really close to the day that it was first listed. And thanks for coming by. Like and subscribe. It helps with everything on the back end. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'd be more than welcome to compare to something else, or if you have specific questions about something, I'd be more than happy to let you know.